Gonna sit here, take my afternoon break with a hand-rolled Premium Cheroot cigar, some caffeine, and some chocolate. And I know a lot of people are all about their dark chocolate, but I'm a little kid at heart, and I do not like dark chocolate. I don't like it in cooking. I definitely don't like to eat it. I'm a milk chocolate guy. So that's what I'm gonna have with my coffee and my cheroot. So one thing about having a thick bar, even if it gets sticky, it doesn't completely melt on you. No neat way to eat chocolate on an 80-something degree day. I know somebody's gonna ask, so if you're rolling what you consider to be premium hand-rolled cigars, why are you smoking a quickly rolled cheroot? And the reason is because whenever you roll a cigar, what most people don't realize, that cigar is not gonna be in its best optimal state for months. So a cigar that I roll now, I'll probably be smoking it on this patio when I'm surrounded by snow. So when you have access to pretty decent tobacco and you have the ability, rolling something like this is a better end result than rolling and smoking a well-crafted cigar too early before it actually gets to mellow out those flavors, mix that blend, and just become a much better and a more enjoyable smoke. Something like this, it's constructed relatively crudely, relatively loose, with pretty dry pieces of tobacco, so it smokes decent right off of the rolling table. And that's why this is what you're probably gonna see me smoke more often than not when I'm in a rolling session or when I just came back from a rolling session. I think the internet likes to see your personality, dig into who you are when you're the person on the other end of that camera. And if you see me in my workshop where I'm rolling my cigars, behind me you'll see all the street signs. That's kind of a thing that's always been something that fascinated me, street signs and construction. So even my ashtray is something like that. It's a cover off of a drain from the sidewalk. Or actually, this one was probably in the middle of the street. One of my friends, they were walking their dog, they saw it, and they thought about me. It says water on it, it's heavy as hell, it's iron. It even has a little chip right here, which is perfect for sitting your cigar. So it's little things like that, little quirky pieces of your personality that need to shine through in everything that you produce. And this is one of those things. My ashtray. Surprisingly, this is not a bad smoke. Sorry, you gotta see me licking my fingers, but if I don't, I'm gonna have chocolate smeared all over me. My dog's right at my feet. So this cigar being constructed the way it is, the ash is pretty decent, but sometimes it's gonna fall off. So I gotta make sure I don't ash on her face, because she just completely decided to move off of her pillow and be right under my feet. I got a bunch of new tobacco in a couple of days ago. I'm probably gonna do a video going over everything that I got. I got some pretty unique leaf. I learned to roll cigars in Texas at a cigar shop called Babalu. And it was a pretty interesting way to learn. I learned from an actual Cuban refugee and a Nicaraguan. They rolled differently, but it gave you insight into two different styles of rolling. And getting back into rolling cigars, first thing I did was I looked up Babalu, called them up, got some tobacco sent to me. Their tobacco is pretty good, and I'm gonna stay loyal because that's how I got into cigar rolling. But their selection is a little bit limited, so I reached out to leaf only, and I got a bunch more, I wouldn't say more premium, but they had more options. So I'm probably gonna go over that, everything that came into that shipment a couple of days ago. And rolling these Cheroot cigars is another good way to tell the characteristics of the tobacco you have. Because you can roll kind of single leaf blends, so you can see how each individual leaf actually burns, smokes, tastes. And that's one of the things that I like to do, because the way that I roll, you have two different categories, two different distinct categories. People that roll cigars with kind of a recipe. They know they use one of this leaf, one of that leaf, one of this binder, and this wrapper. I tend to roll my cigars in a different way. I like to know the characteristics of the tobacco that I have, and then know the strength that I'm trying to roll for. Because I'm not rolling to be consistent. I don't care if one cigar tastes the same as the other cigar, as long as each cigar is in the profile that I like. The strength that I like, burns properly, and is constructed well. So doing this, smoking these, is the only real way that you can develop that knowledge of the individual leaf to know how you want to blend your cigars when you blend them. So it's also expedient, and it's also practical. And I can hand roll these, but when I do these, I tend to use my rolling machine. So it makes a really consistent bunch. I'm probably gonna actually do that a lot more often, even in my more premium cigars. Instead of doing all of the bunching by hand, I'm probably gonna roll them with that, so I get a good, tight, consistent bunch. Then I'll press them, and then I'll work on getting the skill back in my hands, doing the part that's actually the really skilled detail part, and that's putting the wrapper on the cigars. That'll probably speed up my production, even though I don't really need to speed up any production because I'm only making for myself, maybe 1 or 2 friends. But it is a pretty cool piece of kit, and it's nice to have it. It's pretty new, so I'm still getting the hang of it, but it does a damn good job. I'm Jack, and this is the second intermission. On this channel, I talk about things that relate to men of a certain age, 45 to 55, in that second intermission of life, who are starting to ask different questions. And maybe, just maybe, I'll talk about something that'll earn your like and your subscription. But until then, if anything that I said resonates with you, check out some of my other content up here.